Mario Kart World got a Nintendo Direct yesterday, and we got, well, really, in all reality, not that much more info than we had before, but, you know, we're gonna get into the details of this Nintendo Direct. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff. Hey, who turned out the lights?
Hello there, and welcome to the ZakPak Theater. The Nintendorks podcast is officially showing. Episode 1 featuring Swiftjar is all about Mario Kart World, and it is currently out right now. You can listen to it on all your favorite streaming services like YouTube, Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, make sure to go and check it out, but not before finishing this video.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be listening to that after this video. Alright then. I guess we're just gonna hop right on into the video. So if you enjoyed today's video, definitely make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below, and consider becoming a ZakPak member, and you'll get access to those Nintendorks podcast episodes one day early if you become a ZakPak member as well, on top of all the other perks, of course. So, without any further ado, let's get right on into the video. So one big question that a lot of people had with this Direct after, you know, we saw it is, did we really actually learn anything? What was the purpose of this Nintendo Direct? Because, yeah, we didn't learn that much. I mean, we saw a lot more of, you know, gameplay, obviously, and we saw things, you know, more up close and personal. We got some really cool screenshots of all of the characters, so we did get some stuff out of this. It's not like we went into this Direct and learned absolutely nothing from it. But it definitely was a Direct where it was like, I really don't see the purpose in this. And, you know, some people are asking, well, why didn't they just put this in the Nintendo Switch 2 showcase that was a couple weeks ago? And the obvious answer is obvious, that they didn't want to take away from the Switch 2. Like, they didn't want to spend so much time on Mario Kart World and diving into it to where it took away from the Switch 2. You know, that Direct was obviously focused on the Switch 2. But, at the end of the day, it also makes this Direct just feel less substantive when we already know most of the information that's in this Direct. Basically, this Direct served as more so of an overview trailer, just an extended overview trailer, as opposed to a real good, you know, stream to learn more about the game that we didn't know before. That being said, there were quite a few new details that we learned from this presentation. Firstly, we learned a little bit more about what other battle modes would be included, because really we didn't know if battle mode was going to be included or not. And we saw that we do have Balloon Battle, and we also have Coin Runners returning. I'm actually a little disappointed that we don't have more battle modes. I mean, I feel like they're kind of considering Knockout mode as a different kind of battle mode, but only having Balloon Battle and Coin Runners just kind of seems, I don't know. I mean, if they just at least had Shine Thief in there, which has been around for the longest time, I think that would have been better. I can understand why they aren't doing Renegade Roundup, because the Piranha Plant is no longer an item. But, I mean, at least having Shine Thief, the Ba-Bomb mode, would have honestly made this a lot better. You know, just only having 2 battle modes is kind of meh. But I will say, 7 battle courses is actually kind of impressive, because I know most usually have 6 at the most. So seeing that there's at least 7, at least according to Triss, I'm holding you to that, Triss. So yeah, the 7 arenas is really cool. I just wish there was more actual battle modes to do in those arenas, because, you know, I mean, yes, Balloon Battle is a great mode, but, you know, and so is Coin Runners is less so in my personal opinion, but I don't know, just having a few more of the battle modes would have really been great. Especially now that they're charging $80, I don't know why they're not all back. We learned more about the Versus mode. Now, this is actually something I predicted, well, not predicted, but said I wanted in the podcast episode that I did, the Nintendorks podcast. Where basically, it seems like in Versus mode, you can choose what tracks you want to play, and you can also choose what tracks come next, and if you want to do the interconnecting thing. And, you know, it can change, obviously, it changes the course up completely. It almost makes an endless combination of different track combinations when you can just, you know, go from any track to any track, and all those intermissions are obviously going to be different between each of the tracks. So, I really like this addition, even though, yes, there's only like 30 or something like that tracks. Having all those intermissions being unique and different between each course does at least add to the variety of racing on each course. And plus, of course, you also have the option to just do the normal 3 laps on the course. So if you're more into that, you don't have to give that up. As I said in the podcast, it gives you options. It gives you things that you can choose between and doesn't confine you to just doing things in one particular way, which I really, really like. We learned more about the open world and what you can actually do in it. Basically, there's going to be lots of different things that you can find around the open world. There are these peach coins where when you collect them, I actually still don't really know what that does for you. You just go around and collect them, and I'm sure you unlock something with them. There's also these like P-switches where when you hit the P-switches, it'll give you a mission to complete. And from what I heard, there's going to be hundreds of different things to do around the world in terms of missions and stuff like that. So assuming that you unlock everything through this open world, as we know the food bags that you get along each course can provide you different costumes for each character that you can find in the open world. So I'm assuming a lot of the content in the game you can unlock via exploring the open world, which I really do like. It gives the open world a purpose. I've seen some people upset that it's not going to have a dedicated story mode. And honestly, it's kind of weird that people are complaining about this because most people, from what I saw, said they wanted a mission mode, and that was the main thing they wanted. That was the main single-player thing people wanted. Well, we have the mission mode now, it's back, but people are still upset that there's no actual big story mode. You know, something like Diddy Kong Racing. And I get the appeal of it, I get why people want it, but it was never something that Mario Kart ever had, so I don't get the expectation and the demand for Nintendo to have it. I mean, there is, of course, the price point of $80, but I feel like a story mode wouldn't have added to the value of the game any more than a mission mode does. You know, and like I said, as long as the things you're doing, the coins that you're collecting, the P-switches that you're hitting, and the missions that you're completing, as long as all of that leads to you unlocking content in the game and serves a real purpose, I'm fine with what they're doing. I'm fine with the mission mode. I don't need this big extravagant story mode, because at the end of the day, what real story could you get out of Mario Kart? The only thing is I would have liked if you could go up and drive to certain characters on the map and do complete missions for them rather than just hitting P-switches, but at the end of the day, it accomplishes the same thing. You're completing missions, so I don't mind that much. In the Direct as well, they go into different aspects of the gameplay that we wouldn't have really gotten from the gameplay trailers before. For example, you can kind of pull off like a drift boost without actually drifting, but it'll make you jump as well. So it's kind of like a little jump that you can hop and, you know, get up to higher platforms. They also showed off this rewind feature where if you miss a jump that you really wanted to make, you can rewind in the middle of the race and go back and try the jump again. Honestly, I don't really see the purpose of this in a race, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is setting yourself back even farther. So I don't really see the purpose of this. The only reason I could see you wanting to use this is in something like the open world mode, if you're trying to practice a jump, or if you're trying to just, you know, like train yourself to get better at doing certain maneuvers and certain jumps and all of that. That's the only place I personally see that really being useful. But other than that, that's really all the new stuff that we learned from this Direct. There's really not that much that we got from it. You know, like I said, we saw more gameplay. We saw some better screenshots of certain characters, which is cool. But we didn't learn of any new characters. I will say we did see, there's a screenshot that someone's posted around where there's like a bajillion pages to the character select screen. And mind you, there's only 6 characters on the character select screen, if you know that, because that was from the split screen thing. So 6 on each page times like 26 it was. I believe that's like 150 something. So that means there's at least 150 different characters on the select screen. And if we have 50 confirmed characters at the moment, that means another 100 confirmed costumes. So I have no doubt that there's going to be a lot of content and substance to this game. I have no doubt that there's going to be a lot for people to do and a lot for people to unlock, which was really important. It was something that I really, really wanted to see. And for me, that also, to me, says that there's probably more characters as well. I don't think we've seen 150 unique characters and costumes. So there's still a lot that we have to see, I think. I think we're far from done with all the new stuff revealed from this game. We even saw a Rob the Robot bike, that they didn't really talk about. So obviously there's a lot of stuff they're not showing us. I don't expect them to show us everything, because if they want us to actually play the game and unlock things in the game, I would prefer them not tell us anything. If characters like Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Petey Piranha, or even like Professor Egad, if they were unlockable characters, you know, that you can unlock by completing the missions and doing things in the open world, then I'd actually rather them not tell us. I'd rather actually be surprised when I get the game and play it and be like, oh my god, Diddy Kong is in this game, he's just an unlockable character. So, personally, I'm fine with it as long as it's actually them keeping a secret and not them, like, just not having those characters. Because at the end of the day, we're still questioning if this is worth $80, right? I mean, look, there's a lot of content here, there really is, but there are so many games out there that have a ridiculous amount of content. And you know, it's one thing with Nintendo bumping their prices up to $70, which is the new premium, but to do even more than that, more than any other game is typically charged, like, you know, say what you want about the amount of content in Mario Kart World, but will it actually have more content than any other game released? That's the question. And I feel like the answer to that is probably not. I mean, like I said, if there's really only 2 battle modes, we know that Nintendo could have done more. There's way more battle modes that they could have implemented, or even some new ideas that they should have thrown into the mix. Like, yes, we got the Knockout Tour, which is a really cool new mode. But with all those battle arenas, I feel like I personally wanted to see more battle modes. I wanted to see a little more of that. And 200cc, is that here? What about Mirror Mode? Is that here? There's a lot of stuff that we still don't really know, and I really hope that Nintendo clarifies more, because I've seen a lot of people soured from this Direct, not even really because of the whole price of everything, but because we didn't learn anything. There's nothing really here from this Direct that we didn't really know before, besides a few small little details. So that's where I stand with this Direct. It was an okay Direct, it was fine, just we didn't really learn much from it. And I know everyone else is echoing that same sentiment, but it's kind of true, we didn't learn much of anything. So, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff down below. Click the notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload videos. And of course, consider becoming a ZakPak member, it would truly mean a lot to me. And until next time, you guys, I will see you all in the next video.